Hi, I'm Christina, and this is a book review of Homestretch by Graham Norton. So, this is his third novel, and it's my first book by him. It's a historical fiction novel, and it was published in 2020. It's initially set in 1987 in a small Irish town, and the whole community are preparing for a wedding. And then, on the day before the ceremony, a group of 6 friends are involved in an accident. 3 of them die and 3 of them survive, and the bride and groom are both involved in this accident. We follow the survivors as they try to move on with their lives after the accident, and we follow the families who are grieving a loved one. And as it's such a small community, the whole town is essentially in mourning. So the story focuses on one family in particular, the Hayes family, and we follow brother and sister, Connor and Ellen, from the day of the accident and then decades into the future. And Connor himself is one of the survivors of the accident. So it's definitely a generational story, and we follow the characters over a long span of time, and there's lots of time jumps too, both forwards in time and then backwards in time. So initially we see the years of 1987 and 1988 in quite a lot of detail, and then we jump forward to 1995, and then we have a much larger jump forward to 2012, and then we go back and forth to 1987 and the day of the accident, back to the present. So this book really explores themes of family, love, grief, betrayal, regret, and I think it's really well done. And it also has a lot of discussion on homophobia, particularly in the 1980s in Ireland, but across the different time periods too. And the book is mainly set in Ireland, but we also spend time in England, first in Liverpool and then in London, and then we also spend some time in New York. We follow our main character of Connor as he navigates his adult life, as he transitions from teenager into adulthood, and we watch him as he leaves his past behind, his family behind, and his home behind, and he embarks on a new life alone, and he's embracing his sexuality, and he's making friends and starting relationships and securing jobs and places to live, and it's just a slice of life of this character. We spend a lot of time with Connor and we really see his personality develop and unfold, and there's so much about him that we get to see that you do think he's a very real character. He definitely felt like a real person to me rather than just a character in a book, and I think it's also very easy to connect with him as a character. And then we follow his sister Ellen, still living back in Ireland, as she first falls in love, as she gets married, as she has children, and then we watch her somewhat turbulent marriage unfold too. And we spend a lot of time looking at their parents and also the parents of the people who have passed away, and just a lot of other members in the actual community in this small town in Ireland. And I really liked it overall. I will say that I was a little bit bored at the beginning. It is definitely a very slow build. I was probably about a third of the way in, and I was a bit bored, and I was thinking I was going to put it down, DNF it, because it wasn't for me. But I carried on, and I'm actually really glad that I did, because I ended up really enjoying this book. I'll say I got to about halfway through and I was definitely gripped by these characters, and I just wanted to know what was going to happen to all of these characters. And yeah, I did care to see where it was actually going to go. So I'm very glad that I continued on with this one. So if you've got a little bit of the way in and you're not sure if you want to continue, I think it's definitely worth sticking with it, and I'm very glad that I did. Because this is a very slow build, it gives him a lot of time to really focus and develop his main characters, and he spends a lot of time carving out their personalities and really delving deep into who they are as people and what makes them tick. And we spend a lot of time looking at the way in which this tragedy and this grief has affected them all as individuals and as a family and as a community as a whole. And I thought it was really well done. And it's definitely a 4-star read for me. I very much enjoyed my time with it once I'd really got into the swing of it. So I definitely recommend this one. If you've read it, I would love to know what you thought of it down in the comments below. And I'm definitely going to be reading whatever he writes next. And I'm going to look back, and I'm probably going to read his first 2 books as well, because like I say, I just really liked it, and I'm really interested to see what else he has written as well. So if you've read any of his other books, I'd love to know what you thought of them, so definitely let me know down in the comments. So yeah, I enjoyed this one and I would recommend it. Definite 4-star read. definitely glad I stuck with it because it was definitely worth it in the end. And I think there's lots of very interesting discussions on this. Definitely Connor embracing his sexuality and everything that surrounds that is a very big part of his character. And I thought it was really well done and I really liked it. So yeah, this was a good one. And definitely looking forward to seeing what else he has written. So thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you've liked it, and please subscribe if you'd like to see more of me talking about books. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.